Gonna say we saw our first bush Wookie laying down in the bush is a great strategy, especially if you're trying to stay alive till the placement points come through, which is very soon. Lethal Gentleman pushing the equation, pushing the action. There's an opponent right over the wall. We see what you can do with the walls. The snaking ability in this game is crucial, but it is going to go down to a little bit of a healing opportunity. Griezmann says, oh, I'm getting out of dodge. Screw this. I have no opportunity to win this fight. They've got the cover. They have the position. I'm going to rotate across to another building and then find my own position to hold, especially when they have that shotgun for the close range encounters. If my opponent decides to push, I know I can win that gunfight.
Lethal, some adjustments and prone on the ground. Doesn't have to be too worried because actually, not that they are aware, but the cluster of players actually on the other side here. You can see as we swing over to FB to Boss, this is where a lot of the players in this area are clustered, both on those roofs and on those first stories. Spots one. They just sees Ruby there to his left. Trash getting an elimination, and Bob just trying to get around the corner to get somewhere to safety. Not a UTV, a little bit more safety using that vehicle. Hunter, an elimination off screen. Hunter with another elimination coming through, and Lethal take out Trash, and now FB saying everyone else is getting their limbs. Where are mine? Maybe I gotta get a little frisky.
I mean, you've got the high ground, but you're not inside the circle, so you know you're going to have to rotate soon. You can see Hunter on the edge of the zone is going to have to rotate in, probably being held by Griezmann and potentially even Bob, but they have their own structures
Mooney
to deal with. Look, I'm telling you, the blue zone's going to qualify. They find another elimination. We're down to a total of 8 players left, and Hunter's out on the edge of gas. Going to grab that vehicle to rotate in, not going to risk it. Going to get in as quickly as possible. Bob holding down a building. Few other opponents inside structure. You see Boss on the left side, Icy in front. On the right is Popo, and all of these players still just trying to find the correct position, whether it's inside the zone or right outside. And I think Bob has one of the best positions because they are inside the zone. They're able to still use the windows to potentially grab some longer range eliminations if they want to risk it. Now, Ruby, who we saw do some pretty unspeakable things earlier in map number 1, has an opportunity to not only grab a few placement points here because there's 8 players left, but also they can push into this building and grab Icy off the high ground or potentially catch Icy on the rotate. A couple shots across this little main street. You see Popo on the right. Ruby goes down. Boss is looking to try to grab the elimination on Icy, who grabbed Ruby, and that's exactly what happens. But Boss is taking quite a bit of damage now in the blue. We could see blue with another elimination if we're not careful. Bob still a great position inside. FAMAS in hand, ready to get into the action should he need to. We know Bob has the secondary. The question is, does he know that Boss is going to come in from the blue? And, well, yes, exactly right. Bob had all the information he needed to find another.
And at one point, as you were looking at all those players, 3 of those 6 before that elim came in all had shotguns prepared, and for good reason. When you're bunkered down in your house, we'll have to see. Hunter here has done such a good job, despite being so far out earlier after getting those 2 elims. Manages to take that vehicle and get into a good position here. So we have 5 players left in map 2. We'll see each of them occupying their own house, just with Lethal out by the trees, waiting to see exactly where the storm's going to funnel them all into. Bob taking the time to get prepped and ready for these pushes. But really, Bob, not too many threats. Actually, Lucky just says yee-haw and goes for it, but it actually ends up being a ha-yee as Hunter is waiting at the window, says, silly you, I know the storm's at your back, but if you're going to jump out into the open, I will punish you for it. Popo with 3 eliminations, and now the 4 remaining might turn it into 4 here as he swings around the corner, shimmies back, but it's the shotgun for 4 elims, takes down Hunter. And just like that, Coach, 3 remain.
Look, if people are watching it at home, is this proof enough for you? Use a shotgun, M10 or otherwise. These shotguns hit hard right now with the recent buff. Popo using full every single shell, every single pellet out of that shotgun to grab the elimination. Hunter had a great position inside the building, but after taking a bit of damage, I believe, from Bob, it wasn't necessarily a balanced fight, and then Popo just strung it in with the shotgun. Now it's a 1v1v1. 3 players left, and Lethal's gonna swing around the right side, find Griezmann, get shot from the left from Popo. Both are low. Who's gonna push out first? It's Lethal, grabbing the 1, grabbing the 2, wins the 1v multiple situation, and comes out on top. 10 placement points going to Lethal, and 2 eliminations at the very end.
Nice shots. And the way that those final two players converged for Lethal as well worked so perfectly, because Lethal's able to focus on one kill, right? Get that player on the ground, use that wall for a brief minute to recover, and then goes around, gets that final elimination on the other side. Now, if those players all converge on one side of the wall, maybe a different story, a crazy showdown, we wouldn't know who came out on top. But Lethal, I think, played those final two eliminations really well. And I think he was going into that with maybe 3 or so elims. So you get that first place alongside maybe something like 5, and you got to be feeling really, really good.